Hey y'all, it's my review for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, episode 16 as well as 17, the season finale. We open up 16, find out that the big event everyone's going to for this episode is going to be hosted by Anne Marie. She's doing a Mother's Day brunch with the theme being champagne and diamonds. So then we cut to Erica Jane going to her therapist, and they're just talking about how much she's overcome, like how she's in a better place than she was, like I guess a year ago. Then she's expressing to her therapist how she's still holding some resentment to some of the ladies that didn't believe her or she felt wasn't on her side, or just making things she's going through more difficult. I'm sure the next time she sees the ladies, this topic is being brought up. So next scene, we're with Sutton and her gay minion as she's visiting the horse that she bought. She said she always wanted to get a horse since she grew up riding horses. I mean, she definitely can with $300,000 a month. So as she's going for a ride, we see Kyle pull up. And, you know, they had that frenemy relationship that I love. Like, Kyle's like, hey, beautiful. Sutton says hi, and Kyle says, no, I was talking to the horse. And then we cut to Kyle's confessional, who never takes a moment not to shade Sutton. Now, side note, was I the only one nervous watching this as Sutton is riding that horse? Like, Sutton just be looking so frail and tiny. Like, if that horse threw her off its back, she'd break every bone in her body. So the two of them talking about Spain, and y'all know Sutton was going through it in the last episode, and she's still talking about how she has to say goodbye to her husband, who's moving overseas to London. She says she's still in a great place with her husband. It's something that we've never seen him on the show. I think they even blur his face out, and she also says that he lives down the street from her, so it's definitely gonna be a big adjustment for her. Kyle's then asking Sutton about her divorce and how long it was ago, and did they ever think about going to a therapist? Sutton says they didn't, and then Kyle is saying that her and Mauricio are seeing a therapist. From the way she's talking, it's definitely not working. Then she's talking about the history of her marriage and how it just feels like they're in different places. Like they're each, going up, but further apart. Sutton tells Kyle they probably both need to make sacrifices to make their marriage work. And Kyle says that she's been making all the sacrifices. Mauricio hasn't. Like, she's been making sacrifice to make sure Mauricio is good and successful. She says she's been a good wife. She's been a good mom. I want to make sure that he prioritizes me like I prioritize him. Like I've been saying since the beginning of the season, I feel like they're both entering midlife crises at the same time, and that's why there's so much disconnect. It's so interesting that Kyle and Sutton ended the season with each other on a good note, and now, like, they're not even speaking to each other. Next scene, we're with Garcelle and her sons, and one of her sons, which one is this one? The well-spoken one who wants more independence. I think his name is Jalen, because he's reading a PSA for cyberbullying since that happened to him from the Racist Diana season. I had to think back, why were they attacking Garcelle's son again? Out of all people? Was it because Erica cursed them out? But how was Diana involved? I don't know. That wasn't a great season. Afterwards, she's then talking to her son about giving him more independence and saying that he can take Ubers by himself. He's 15, and I'm just thinking there wasn't Ubers back in my day. I think it was just me driving to school or whatever. That was big independence. I don't even think I caught my first cab until I was 19, and I was visiting New York for the first time. Once again, a very cute scene with Garcelle and her son. So next scene, we're with Sutton as she's on her second date with the guy she actually likes. So far, it looks like their date's going well. They're holding hands, they're laughing with each other. He's being flirtatious with her, and she's actually being herself around him, and he's not really repulsed. And that's not shade. It's just like Sutton can be very awkward, and sometimes men are taken aback by that. Maybe repulsed was a strong word. Damn, she's talking about dating in your 50s. I mean, at this point, if we get to date 5, we might as well get married. So as their date ends, it looks like Sutton might get a third. We shall see. But next scene, we're with Kyle talking to Mauricio. They have no chemistry in this scene whatsoever. They're just so awkward around each other now. I get the cameras on them, but it just feels like they're not being real. So they're on the topic of their therapy sessions and whether it's helping them or not. And Mauricio says it is, but it's something about Kyle, the way she's talking, that she wants something more out of it, or she's not getting the reaction that she wants to out of Mauricio. So then they're talking about how they're both changing, how they had a rough year. What happened between them? She keeps saying a myriad of things. I'm probably jumping ahead, but I think something happened. I'm watching this and I'm just like, damn, that psychic from season 1, the dinner party from hell, she was absolutely right. Like, he will never be able to emotionally fulfill you. And this is what Kyle is looking for. Like, she's looking for fulfillment and she's not getting it out of Mauricio. And it's during around the time that they're about to be empty nesters. Like, that psychic was spot on. They're holding hands with each other, but I'm not buying it. So next scene is the day of Anne-Marie's Mother's Day brunch, and it looks nice. It's a very nice setup. And is it just me, or does it feel like Anne-Marie's husband, his scenes got cut a lot since those allegations came out? Like, we really only just see Anne-Marie. We don't see much of her home life. Either she's with the ladies, or she'll have a really short scene with her husband. We got to her confessional. She said she's looking forward to seeing Crystal so she can hopefully make amends with her and they can move on, because she feels like it's affecting the group. And kinda, sorta. I mean, I don't think they're gonna invite her back next season. Maybe even Crystal if we're lucky. I at least appreciate that she wants to move on, because other housewives or other franchises refuse to do so. So then we cut to the other ladies getting ready for the party. Sutton's starting the party already. She has a to-go cup in hand full of something strong. And then we get to Dorit, who's talking to PK, just wondering when is he gonna come home. He's out of town for work in London. And he let us know that it's day 12. He then tries to gaslight Dorit by saying that the holiday isn't even really celebrated in London and she's not his mom. And Dorit's like, I'm the mother of your children. I'm sorry, if I was Dorit, I would make use of those 12 days that I have to myself. Especially away from PK. I would have my own fun, because you know he is in the UK. Dorit then ends the conversation by telling him, for future reference, this holiday is important to me, and I'd like for you to be here next time. Wow, so we're at Anne-Marie's brunch, and look, I mean, I know y'all hate her, but she is definitely hosting like a Beverly Hills level soiree. So as the ladies are trickling in, we see the diamond setup at the brunch party, and no joke, I mean, it's surrounded by security. That's at least about over 6 million in diamonds just sitting there. I'm wondering who would casually at a Mother's Day brunch just purchase a necklace for 3.5. The ladies are gagged as they're walking in. Like, Anne-Marie did a good job. Like, this is definitely over the top Beverly Hills, like it should be. We see Erica Jane arrive, and she will rock the fuck out of a pink look. Anne-Marie, take it down a notch. Hi, thank you for coming, thank you for coming. Child, we cut to Sutton, she still hasn't left her house. So then some time passed by, Sutton is finally there, and is she tipsy already? Like, she can barely get up the steps. Where are the handrails? Oh, no handrails? What is wrong with these people? Sutton walks in with this big ass to-go cup. The lady's looking at her. You brought your own drink? There's drinks here. The ladies are looking at Sutton with judgment, and I would too. When Anne-Marie hands her a glass, she starts pouring her whatever's in her cup in the glass and just continues to drink that with all this stuff provided. But then we cut to Sutton being shady, saying, I'm gonna drink my own drink. They can drink their Corbel. I don't drink that stuff. First of all, I cackled, but second, why is there Corbel at that party? Like, I already saw the Vouv all around. Who brought Corbel? Just the sight of that bottle makes me angry. So then we see the ladies looking at the diamond table, and you know Sutton, like, she's just looking to really shop and throw that card down. I thought she was going to, but she really made up for it in the next episode. Production is so messy. They then start filming Sutton and she's making her own drink. It looked like she filled that glass to the top with vodka. And then she got the nerve to pretend like she poured herself too much. And then like, oh, let me empty some of this out, too much. Here go Erica with her tiny violins talking to Crystal, saying, thank you, I appreciate you apologizing to me. Like, I'm just surprised some of the other ladies. Girl, no one feels sorry for you or should be congratulating you anytime soon. Some of these victims are down and out with no money and 100 times worse off than Erica, while she over here complaining. So a little later, Anne-Marie pulls Crystal to the side to go talk to her. I'm like Erica in that scene, oh my God. I don't really care about it, but long story short, they make up. They both want to move forward with each other, well, at least until the reunion. So then the topic of conversation is how Sutton's date went. It looked like it went well, but it looks like she's not really being intimate with him. She still hasn't kissed him yet. Like, by day 2, we've kissed. Not by the 3rd date. Second date with no kiss, you're in the friend zone. So then a little later, Erica finally tells the ladies how she's been feeling, how certain people didn't believe in her, wasn't supportive. Half of her wants an apology since she's in a better place. And then the other half, she feels like, well, if they wanted to apologize, they would have by now. Dorit comes off defensive immediately. She's like, you feel like I haven't supported you? Like, Erica, back then, you didn't make it easy to support you. We blindly supported you. I think she said this in her confessional a little bit more harshly than she told Erica to her face. And I agree with Dorit. Like, her, Kyle, and Lisa Rinna, they believed everything Erica was saying. Calvin says that she was supportive, but she points out that there was a difference. Like Sutton and Garcelle, they had a completely different view than I had. I had the same view as you. I just had a problem how you were handling it, but I never once thought that you knew anything that went on. You know, did she know anything about Tom? Like, I think Sutton and Garcelle were just like, she knew about it. Hell, I think she knew about it. Of course she turned a blind eye. But then Garcelle, she says, I didn't want you to fall, but I did have an opinion. And that's just keeping it real. Like, I don't want you to go to jail or anything. I hope it's not true. But if you ask me, like, how could you not have known? Because Erika Jayne, like, you can't play stupid and smart. Like, she was a cunning, smart, bad bitch when she came on the show. And now all of a sudden she's like, woe is me. What am I gonna do? I didn't know. So Sutton apologizes for leading the charge and not believing in her. And here go Erica with the crocodile tears. I'm not buying it. Well, what I noticed in this scene, she didn't get an apology out of Garcelle. Garcelle said what she said, and I respect her for not apologizing because there's nothing to apologize for. Actually, I don't think she got it from Dorit either. It was just Kyle, Crystal, and Sutton that apologized to her. Wow, side note, in that moment, I totally forgot Anne-Marie was there. So the credits are rolling. Erica's telling the group that she's happy to move on, and hopefully her attention is on someone else, as she's kidding. They all laugh. That's where the episode ends. It was a cute episode, kind of like borderline filler before we get to the finale. And speaking of which, let's get into it. So the episode opens at SoFi Stadium with Kyle and Erica. This is the venue where Kyle is having her annual white party. Like, this is major, because I'm sure renting out that space is not cheap. The other franchises could never. Like, I'll give Miami best dress, but as far as the over-the-topness and the spending, that's Beverly Hills. Oh, so we found out that the party planner for Kyle's event is none other than Kevin Lee, like Lisa Vanderpump's party planner. You know, Beverly Hills, darling, she. So then we found out that Kyle's connect to get this stadium rented was through when she did the DirecTV commercial with Kenya and it was somebody else from another franchise. Oh, Teresa. So then we found out that Erika Jayne is actually performing for the white party, so that's why she's there. And to Erica, this is her big comeback into show business. So now Kyle is given like a background on how she got in contact with Kevin Lee to do the party planning. She says she knows him through Lisa Vanderpump, which is kind of taboo since they're not friends anymore and she's now on the show. Kevin is trying to make the party more about Kyle, and that's how Kyle is shading Lisa Vanderpump, saying that, oh, you're definitely Lisa's party planner, implying that Lisa always wants to make everything about her. Kyle even mimics her accent. Now, I know a lot of people had a problem with her shading Vanderpump, but I'll allow it. So next scene, we're with Sutton and her daughter as they're at Martin Katz Jewelers looking for diamonds. And y'all, this is just the first 5 minutes. Luxury. Like the $500,000 budget for this white party to Sutton buying over $100,000 in diamonds. Like, this is what we want to see. Luxury. And I'm talking to you, Potomac. Ooh, Sutton is trying on $500,000 on her wrist. Wow, and the female jeweler shows Sutton the ring that she owns. It's $9 million. I wonder what's the most expensive purchase that's happened on Housewives. Put it in the chat if you know. So Sutton picks these cute blue earrings. The jeweler says, oh yeah, that's $68,000. She's like, okay. So Sutton then has a heart-to-heart with her daughter. It gets sentimental. We can fast forward. So next scene, we're back at SoFi Stadium. It looks like the party is fully set up. I think it's the day of the party. Kyle just gets there early just to check everything out. It looks amazing and expensive. And then they show us the party budget, $400K. This is what we're watching for. Yeah, Kevin Lee did the damn thing with this setup. This is flawless. Well, I guess there was one thing wrong with the party, and Kyle sees the dance floor, and it is her name in huge black writing. She's like, what did you do this for? I don't want this party to be about me. She then asks, are they able to remove her name from the dance floor? And he says, nope. And side note, Bravo has some nerve using the clip of Vanderpump's voice while Kyle is shading her. Wow, we're just getting right into this white party. Now we see a montage of all the ladies getting ready. We then cut to Dorit, who's talking to PK on FaceTime, and they let us know that it is day 25 since he's been gone out of town for work. That's crazy. That man could be having a whole nother double life. You know what I'm predicting though? I think after the 3-part reunion airing, Dorit's gonna announce her separation from PK. You heard it here first. And then she's definitely gonna be a shoo-in for the next season. We got to Dorit's confessional, and she is livid that PK can't make the white party. She said she told him in advance, and he knew how important it was for him to be there. We come back to the white party, and the first person to arrive is Mauricio, who's looking very good, I must say. Very cat daddy. He doesn't even know where his wife is. I'm surprised he's even there in the first place. So the ladies are arriving one by one, and let's just do the looks. So first Crystal arrives, and I love this. I love this dress that she's wearing. It looks like she's finally dressing her age, well, at least in this scene. She's a knockout in this dress. Next up is Sutton, and I really like this dress. You know, she's known for a sack dress, but this is the same silhouette, but it's very flattering on her body, and I love like this little swoop on the shoulder. And the blue accent. She got a blue purse and the new blue earrings she bought earlier in the episode. Okay, next up is Garcelle. Why am I not surprised? I mean, it's okay. The feather arms, they're okay. It looks like she's wearing a white nightgown. I don't know. I mean, I don't hate it. And she looks good. It's just not my favorite. Oh, and we see the morally corrupt Faye Resnick. Okay, so Anne-Marie arrives, and I like this dress she's wearing. Very form-fitting. I love the design. Looks expensive. Cute. Oh, we have another cameo. Cynthia Bailey, looking gorgeous. You know, I thought Cynthia was going to have a much bigger presence this season, but she literally just made cameo appearances, kind of like Faye Resnick. Who invited Jeff Lewis? And then we see that Kyle's black gay minion, he's there too. I can't stand both of those cigarettes, but I definitely hate Jeff Lewis the most. Okay, we have another cameo appearance, Camille Grammer, who did not follow the dress code. Like, she comes in baby blue. So Dorit arrives, and I actually don't mind this look. Like, she didn't get a gown like the other ladies. Like, she's dressed for a nightclub. Like, she's wearing pants, like white bomber jacket. It looks a little bit more casual than the other ladies, but she still looks expensive as fuck. And here go Kyle, and I like this dress, and I love when Kyle's hair is like that. So as Kyle's making her way on the field, Mauricio has to be told that his wife is coming out. He didn't walk out with them. So I haven't seen Erica's look yet, but so far, out of all the ladies' looks, I think Crystal, out of everybody, is best dressed. Let me know who y'all thought. Oh, and another cameo by Denise Richards as well as her husband. Denise Richards is being very Denise Richards as she arrives. So the party's going great. Kyle's talking about how they've had this white party since 2004. And I think the first one we saw was in 2008. So we're with Sutton and Garcelle, and Sutton gives us an update on the guy she was dating. Turns out she heard from him 2 days after he ghosted her, and she decided that's not good enough for her, so it's a chop for this guy too. Yeah, I think Bravo should look into doing that Sutton dating show, All of a Sudden. I'm sorry, Love All of a Sudden. Sutton lets us know though that she's finding love in her business. That's who she's in love with. And I feel it, like dating and these ninjas, they're not a priority. So then later we see Kyle check Mauricio because she heard from somebody that he didn't even know that the party was gonna be inside the stadium. He thought it was gonna be in the parking lot. That's embarrassing to Kyle because it makes it look like they don't even communicate with each other, which is probably the truth. So we cut to Erica. She's about to perform for the white party. She's treating this like, look, she has something to prove before she goes back for her residency. She's taking this very seriously. We see her up on stage. I mean, she's lip syncing, but you know, she's doing a good job. It's not bad. And the audience is cheering her on. She does well. She feels empowered. Good for her. And side note, if I was to never hear Expensive to Be Me again, I wouldn't be mad at that. Wow, so we're only 35 minutes in and we're getting right to the end cards for the season. So that means the rest of the episode is dedicated to Kyle's separation. So the first card is dedicated to Erica. As we all know, she did her residency. She's getting that spinoff, which I probably won't be watching. We get to Dorit and we find out that PK came home after 39 days. She spent a month and some change by herself. Yeah, their marriage is in trouble. We also find out that Dorit and Kyle stopped speaking and they haven't heard from each other since December. We get to Anne-Marie and we find out that her and Crystal haven't spoken since the white party, so that whole we're moving on thing was bullshit. All right, we get to Crystal, who's accepting the fact that her brother's moving to Thailand, blah, blah. Garcelle, her and her sons are happy. She's a good mom. She won some local award for her movie. And then we get to Sutton, who we see fell on her ass at the party. And again, I just feel nervous for Sutton anytime she falls or about to, because I feel like she break every bone in her body. So Sutton's card is boring as well. I mean, she's happy. She's not dating right now. She's focused on her horse. We then cut to the ladies all taking a group photo, and then the screen fades to black and says 1 month later. We see all the ladies at their homes, and I think when that People magazine article dropped, like they brought the cameras back up. Yeah, this is super dramatic editing. So then it fades to black, July 23rd, 2023. We see the article, we see the Twitter storm, everybody has an opinion on it. Look, I was gagged. This article was an exclusive and no one knew who the source was. We then cut to getting all the ladies' reactions to this story. We're with Crystal and her husband says he thinks Morgan leaked the story, which sounds plausible. I think Kyle wanted this information out. I think she leaked the story. We're on Dorit now, and she's telling PK like they gave no indication of separation. So it looks like all the ladies are gagged. Like no one saw this coming. I like how we see Anne-Marie talking to her husband like he gives a shit about this. We then cut to producer Garcelle and Detective Sutton talking to each other on FaceTime. And Sutton is like, this didn't happen overnight. They clocked this immediately. Sutton is saying that there were clues leading up to this announcement. And she's like the missing wedding ring, the change in behavior, the friendship with Morgan, etc. Sutton looked like she feels some type of way because early in the season, she called it. There were problems going on in Kyle's marriage. And Kyle tried to make it seem like Sutton was just, being nosy about something that wasn't even true. And turns out it was true. She says she thinks Kyle's been lying the entire time. So then the screen fades to black, and then we see the statement that Kyle and Mauricio put out after the article dropped. And now we're with Kyle. She's just reacting to the news and was saying Mauricio was more concerned with who leaked the story, and then she was more worried about how it was affecting the family. She said her kids were crying, their phones were blowing up when the article dropped. We then see Erica is visiting her. We cut to Erica's confessional, and she said she wants to be there for Kyle because Kyle was there for her when her marriage blew up and when she dropped that bomb. I'm really surprised that Dorit wasn't the one in this scene because I really thought her and Kyle were like this. So Erica starts off by telling Kyle that she apologizes if she wasn't an observant friend, that she was going through something. But here's the thing, Sutton was being an observant friend, but she got punished for it. We see in the flashback that she called it 3 months ago. So Kyle's going over with Erica how she's feeling and just how the article is affecting her. She really is worried about what other people are thinking. Like, oh, well, they're separating. It must be because Mauricio cheated. Or Kyle must have cheated. Erica then asks her, well, what's the truth with that? Has anyone cheated? And listen to Kyle's verbiage when she answers that question. She says there's literally nothing to do with anybody else. She didn't say yes or no. Like, Mauricio did something. It seems like for right now, she's saying that there was a bunch of factors that contributed to their separation. Kyle's not going over a history of her marriage, like when they first met and how they complimented each other. And we really do see in flashbacks through the years, you can see how much they loved each other. We saw in season 1 that Kyle was gonna slap a bitch for being on Mauricio. So to see them now, they act like strangers towards each other. Erica is definitely talking Kyle off a ledge because Kyle's the type of person, she just wants to be liked, and she feels like she's letting people down that their marriage failed. And Erica's telling her, fuck what people think. Like, are you happy? Do not stay in something that you are not happy in. I gotta say, Erica has just been so likable this season. It's been hard. Like, I still hold her to the fire, but I don't dislike her as much anymore. So next scene, we're with Kyle and her entire family, Mauricio included, and they're about to have this powwow in their living room. And this is the scene we saw like in the first preview of the season. I knew this scene was going to be in the final episode. I mean, the scene is clearly orchestrated. You have all 4 of their daughters and Kyle and Mauricio talking to them with the cameras there. I mean, I'll allow it. Kyle is mostly taking the charge on this conversation and just letting her daughters know that you can ask questions or, all what's going on. We see Portia, who's 15 now, and she breaks down into tears. I gotta say, like, it totally broke me when my parents divorced, but I was age 10. I feel like if I was in high school or grown as hell, like 26 or 34, I really wouldn't care. I'd be like, Mom, as long as you're happy, I fully support your decision. And, especially my dad, because, Papa was a Rolling Stone. Like, if I would have known all this, like, that occurred, I think they just wanted to shield me from all of that at 10 years old especially. They call themselves protecting me when they really blindsided me to this information. Like, I'm thinking everything is fine, and then boom, we're getting a divorce, Mom is moving out, I'm living with her, I gotta see them half the time, and then I was going to different schools as well. So it was a double whammy. But enough of Chris's business. So then it seems like Mauricio won't even be living in the same house as Kyle soon. And I can't remember if I saw this in the show or I heard this outside of it. Like, the terms of their separation is they both can do what they want to do. They can date other people if they want. They both in this conversation letting their daughters know that during their separation, they'll see, if things get better. But if not, then, we'll get to the next step. Child, so the episode's coming to an end, and they ended on Kyle's confessional, where she's saying there's a big chance that they're not going to end up together anymore. Production then asked her, what is the issue that the two of you just can't let go of? And here's the biggest clue we got all season concerning their separation. She says there were things that happened that made her lose her trust, and she's never recovered from it. What happened? And she better say it on the reunion. Wow, so they fade to black after that, and then the credits are rolling, and then we see a flashback of, I think, when Kyle and Mauricio were in Paris. Yeah, it's just one flashback after the other. The two of them used to be like this, like inseparable. She loved that man. This season, Kyle had more chemistry with Morgan. So when we finally get to Kyle's end card, and it says Kyle reconciled with Kathy, making everything hunky-dory, then we also see that Kyle and Mauricio continue to live their lives separately. We then come back to Kyle's confessional where she's saying, I just want to be at peace wherever I'm at because I haven't had that. We then get a fourth wall break after her interview ended, and she just starts crying, saying it's over. And that is where the episode ends. This was a fantastic finale. I really enjoyed this season. To those of y'all saying it's a boring season, I think, y'all the Zeus crowd, y'all the crowd that came to Potomac after season 5, because this season had levels, and while I think Miami ended on a better note, I feel like Beverly Hills was consistently good, and it gave us what we love about Housewives. Like, first and foremost, luxury, storylines, friendships, as real as they can be. Like, look, I enjoyed it. As I said during the season, I think they can make some changes to the cast. Anne-Marie, bye. Crystal, bye. Dorit, I I can see her being demoted to friend. Get us some new people on the cast, some good ones. I'm gonna say this season was an A-, and I can't wait for that reunion. It looks really good. Like, my jaw dropped at the end. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought about these 2 episodes. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the reunion. Bye.